Okay, so K group 1 hey, output 44 correct. We'll just leave it at that for now. And then we need to connect key group 1 output 44 to the new recorder. So I simply say K group 1 output 44 to audio unit rig 5 recorder connect. So that's K group 1 output 44 to audio unit rig 5 recorder connect. Hit enter and just go down here and check. K group 1 output 44 to audio unit rig 5 recorder connect is okay. Okay, so now I've got basically now if I select this and so I choose that new key group output and I play, I'm now sending the key information to this new recorder. From the recorder, so the signal chain goes recorder, scaler, audio unit. So the next thing is to connect the recorder to the scaler, and that is as simple as saying audio, do you want to zoom in on the one? Audio unit rig 5 recorder to audio unit rig 5 scaler connect. So that was audio unit rig 5 recorder to audio unit rig 5 scaler connect, and hit enter. Down here, that says OK. It's worth pointing out here that when we say recorder to scaler connect, it's not actually just making one connection, it's making quite a few. So what it does is it looks at all the outputs, looks at the names of all the outputs of the recorder, and the names of all the inputs of the scaler. And if they share the same name, it will make the connection together. So actually, coming out of the recorder, we have there's a pressure output, there's an activation output, there's a roll output, there's like a yaw output. There's all these outputs, and the input to the scaler there's also pressure input, roll input, activation input, and so it looks and it matches up the names, and anything that have the matching name, it will connect together. So it's not just one connection it's making here. And then finally, this is the same again, like we need to connect the scaler to the audio unit. Again, the scaler has these outputs. It has a frequency output, has a pressure output, and the audio unit has a frequency input and a pressure input. So it's making a couple of connections here. But we say audio unit rig 5 scaler, audio unit rig 5 scaler to audio unit rig 5 audio unit connect. So that is the audio unit agent within audio unit rig 5. So again, that was audio unit rig 5 scaler to audio unit rig 5 audio unit connect. Hit enter, and that's okay. That says okay, so that's good. And then something we need to do quickly, again, it's one of these things that you need to remember when you're doing this, is when you create an audio unit, by default it's a mono audio unit. If you loaded a stereo plugin, it would automatically change the number of channels it has. But because we need to connect it to the mixer and we need a stereo output, what we need to do quickly is just make sure we change the number of channels on the audio unit. So I'm going to say audio unit rig 5 audio unit hey. Audio unit rig 5 audio unit hey. So that's the audio unit within audio unit rig 5. And then we just quickly say all channel to 2 set. All channel to 2 set. Hit enter. And that's just making sure it's a stereo slot for an audio unit, because that would change automatically if we loaded a plugin into it, but we don't want to do that just yet. So just change the number of channels to 2, and then the final bit is connecting to the mixer. So you can find out which mixer channels are free by browsing the mixer. I don't know if you guys have come across that much before, but with the browser open, I'll show you actually. So I'm just going to open my browser quickly. So that's Tools, Run Eigenbrowser. So that's loaded. Then I go to the Console Mixer Advanced Controls, which are this one here. And then there's this key just down here. It's all in your quick start guide, but you hit that and the Eigenbrowser shows you a list of all the channels and their like the volume settings and pan settings in the Console Mixer Agent. And the Console Mixer Agent is just like an audio mixer. It has 24 inputs on this in this agent, and it mixes all the different audio inputs together, and it has one stereo output. Has like channel volume and pan settings for each channel. It also has send, so you can build an unlimited number of like auxiliary sends on this mixer as well. Send them to various places within your setup. But for now, so take a look at this browser. so this is probably, it's not ideal, but it's the easiest way to find out like which channels are free. But I click, for example, on audio unit rig 1 here, look along the top, and it says channel ID 5. So basically, that's probably the easiest way to find out which channels are being used at the moment. But the instruments go like sampler 1 to 4 is channels 1 to 4, audio unit 1 to 4 is then 5 to 8, then it goes cello is 9, clarinet is 10, the synth sound is 11, then you've got number 12 is the drummer, and I think click is like 24, yeah it is. So anything from 13 onwards is actually free. Just to be safe, I'm going to connect to channel like 17. I know that's definitely not being used. So let's do that. So what's happened? So we've got up to trying to connect the audio unit to the console mixer. It seems to be working now. So I will have to look into that and see why that didn't work. So, but could you mind zooming in on the? So what? Hopefully, if you're up to the point I was at. So what we've done so far is we've created the rig. We've named it Audio Unit Rig 5. We've created the 3 agents we need for this instrument, which are the recorder, the scaler, and the audio unit, and we've added them all to the rig. So we now have this rig with these 3 agents inside. We've created an output on key group 1. Well, I use key group 1 output 44, and I've connected that to the new recorder inside the audio unit rig 5. So now we have the chain going key group to recorder, and then I connected the recorder to the scaler and the scaler to the audio unit. So the signal flow goes key group to recorder to scaler to the audio unit agent. Okay, so the bit I got stuck on just then was connecting the audio unit agent to the console mixer, channel 17. So, but now that's working now. So if we have a look here, so what I typed was audio unit rig 5, audio unit, left audio output. So that is audio unit rig 5, audio unit, left audio output to console mixer, channel 17, left audio input. So it's quite a long one. So I'm connecting from audio unit rig 5, audio unit, left audio output, and I'm connecting to console mixer, channel 17, left audio input. So that's the full thing. And at the end you say connect, hit enter. I've already done that one, and you can see down here in the bottom right, you get the phrase and it says OK, bizarrely. So now I just need to do the same with the right audio output to the right audio input. So I say audio unit rig 5, audio unit, right audio output to console mixer, channel 17, right audio input connect. Okay, look down here, and again, bizarrely, it says OK. So that is all good. So now we've connected from the key group to the recorder to the scaler to the audio unit. Audio unit's connected to the mixer, which is in turn connected to the audio output.
Is this head, shoulders, knees and toes?
Yeah. Okay, just really quickly though, before we do any of this, so basically it's now set up to make a noise, which is great. But first of all, we need to load a plugin into that slot. So I'll just do that quickly. I've opened up the Eigen browser as well as the Commander. And in the Commander, so this is how you browse for plugins without using a talker, because obviously we haven't created any talkers yet for this new audio unit plugin. So you say Eigen browser hey, and just check down there, and it says OK, and it does. And then you say audio unit, well, the name of the audio unit, which in our case is audio unit rig 5 audio unit, because it's the audio unit agent that belongs to audio unit rig 5. So audio unit rig 5 audio unit plugin browse. Hit enter, and you can see now in the Eigen browser it's come up as browsing audio unit 14. So obviously that was the name of the audio unit, but we don't actually use that because we know it's in audio unit rig 5. And then I'll just choose Alchemy. So choose Alchemy from the list, and we have Alchemy. Now, hopefully, if I go and play, and I choose key group output 44, nothing. Oh, it's because I haven't, sorry, in the rush when I started up again and did it all again, I didn't connect up the recorder to the scaler. And I also didn't connect up also didn't connect up the scaler to the actual audio unit, so I'm typing in audio unit rig 5 scaler to audio unit rig 5 audio unit connect. Okay, now...
Can you just go through the last bits of bel canto that you've just done?
Which bits exactly?
What were the last 3 lines of bel canto?
Okay, so a lot of that was I'm just trying to redo what I was doing before. But the very last one, should I type it in?
Oh, okay.
So this is the message web seminar.
This is good, isn't it?
Yeah. Audio unit rig 5, audio unit left audio output to console mixer channel 17 left audio input connect. Check that. Audio unit rig 5 audio unit left audio output to console mixer channel 17, and then do the same except replace left with right for the right channel. So that's basically what I was doing. The rest of it was all stuff that I had already done once, and then I restarted and did it all again. So now we have the complete chain from the key group to the audio. So I thought we did. Oh, it's not. Okay, so we've got sound coming out, which is great. There are some things we need to do before it behaves exactly like an instrument, and I want to introduce you to this this new kind of signal. So we've got so far what we've connected up are things like the actual key information. So we've done like there's pressure connected from the key group is the pressure roll in your output connected to the pressure roll in your input of the recorder, which then sends the same things to the scaler. Inside the scaler, the pressure roll in your and activation, actually, they're the key ones. The scaler converts that into two different kinds of outputs, which are called then pressure and frequency. Because obviously before the scaler, it's not really, there's no note or frequency assigned to each of the keys, it's just a key number. But then once it goes into the scaler, then these numbers become actual frequency, as in like an actual pitch. But there's this other one called controller signal, which is what the key group. So it starts. Every key group sends out this new signal, which is called the controller signal, which sends along it things like the information about the courses. So as well as the key number, the key group sends along this information about what course it's in, what octave the key group is set to, and also you can set the scale instead of by scalar or per instrument. You can set the scale in the key group, and then if you set the scale in the key group, if you're playing on that key group, every instrument that's connected downstream as you're playing on that key group, because of this controller signal, it tells it that to override whatever value is set inside the instrument and use the scale that's set to the key group. So what we need to do is connect up this controller signal from the key group to the recorder, and then from the recorder to the scaler first before this will work properly. And the reason why I left this till a little bit later on is because the recorder has these things called auxiliary inputs and outputs. So by default, when we connected from the key group to the recorder, it only connected up like the basic things, which were the pressure, activation, the roll, and the yaw. Anything that it could find matching names for. So there's a pressure output from the key group and there's a pressure input to the recorder. So it matched up those names and automatically made the connection. So what we need to do is connect up this controller thing. And there's a couple of ways we can do this. I'm going to teach you the kind of a little bit more complicated, but the most kind of useful way, which is, okay, so first of all, what I'm going to...